Estudia en Colombia, un país de puertas abiertas, lleno de biodiversidad, con una inmensa riqueza cultural y fantásticos lugares por explorar, que ofrece excelentes oportunidades para estudiantes, investigadores y docentes de todo el mundo. Colombia se ha transformado en los últimos años. Las condiciones de seguridad, los indicadores económicos y el nivel de desarrollo del país muestran cómo cada vez generan mayores oportunidades para colombianos y extranjeros. Como referente de calidad y destino académico y científico, Colombia se ha consolidado como uno de los países más fuertes de la región. Las instituciones de educación superior del país anualmente se posicionan en los diferentes rankings internacionales de medición de la calidad. La oferta del país se materializa en programas de pregrado, posgrado, cursos cortos, diplomados, becas, residencias y estancias investigativas en todas las áreas del conocimiento. Actualmente, en promedio 6.000 estudiantes de todo el mundo eligen a Colombia como destino para experiencias de intercambio e investigación. Conoce cómo el español ha cambiado el mundo y anímate a aprenderlo en Colombia. Spanish in Colombia es la iniciativa gubernamental de promoción de la lengua española. La inmensa oferta académica, la alta calidad de los programas especializados, el ecosistema de innovación y la enseñanza del español como lengua extranjera han activado el crecimiento de la movilidad en el país, incluso en tiempos de pandemia. Las universidades colombianas se esfuerzan por fortalecer su visibilidad en el exterior, logrando aumentar sus cifras en movilidad entrante. Este incremento en las cifras ha representado un cambio de paradigma de la visibilidad del país en el exterior con relación a la educación superior y un avance en la calidad de las instituciones en cuanto a los aspectos de formación e investigación. Hoy nace Go Colombia, una herramienta que te permitirá conocer la oferta de programas académicos de calidad y redes de investigación de las instituciones de educación superior. Conoce detalles acerca del costo de vida, la diversidad geográfica y cultural del país y planea tu estancia. Entérate de las oportunidades que Colombia tiene para ti. El país más acogedor del mundo te abre sus puertas para que vengas a estudiar y a vivir una experiencia inolvidable.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon from Colombia again. Thank you for being here with us. Today, I will be your hostess. I'm Laura Peña. I'm working in Universidad de Medellín as an international cooperation analyst. And welcome to the third Go Colombia Talks, Colombia as academic and scientific destination for U.S. higher education institutions, a series of webinars focused to the international and study abroad officers and decision makers to know more about Colombia as academic and scientific destination. This webinar is part of Go Colombia project, the strategy that the Colombian Ministry of National Education has led together with other government entities and universities network to promote Colombia as an academic and scientific destination. This project is especially led by the Embassy of the United States. We have 6 special guests today, and for this reason, I would like to welcome our first special guest, Rachel Wilson, Higher Education Coordinator of the Public Affairs section, who will make our official opening to the third Colombia Talks. Rachel, it's a pleasure to be with you. Rachel is the Higher Education and Education USA Country Coordinator at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. Prior to joining the embassy in 2015, Rachel was the Education USA advisor at the Fulbright Commission in Bogota. And a native of Lexington, Kentucky, Rachel received her bachelor's degree in Spanish from Transylvania University, and she holds graduate degrees in Hispanic Studies from the University of Kentucky and in International Relations from Syracuse University. Welcome, Rachel. It's a pleasure.
Hi, Laura. Hi, all. Thank you so much for that generous introduction, Laura. And it's such a pleasure to be here today with you all at this third session, as Laura mentioned, of this Go Colombia series. It's always an honor to be here representing the embassy and also all of our collaboration that we have with the Colombia Challenger Knowledge Network, CCYK, and the Ministry of Education. And so today our focus will be on really the Go Colombia strategy and on Colombia as a scientific and academic destination. We have a spectacular lineup of speakers, a number of them, as Laura mentioned, so I won't take up too much time. But I did just want to mention a little bit of context about this program for those of you who maybe haven't been able to join us for the first two sessions that we've had in this series. This is a series and initiative that we're doing with the support of the Office of Study Abroad, which is part of the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs at the Department of State. And we've been closely working with our partners here in Colombia to really join efforts and establish new bilateral and binational relations, while simultaneously encouraging more students from the US to study in Colombia, more professors from the US to engage with Colombia, really more engagement across borders. The one thing I wanted to highlight today that my colleague Diana Patino, who many of you may know, is extremely involved with, is there is an open competition of the Innovation Fund of 100,000 Strong in the Americas. How many of you guys have heard of 100,000 Strong, have participated in 100,000 Strong? I know I see some familiar names there. I know there are winning institutions among this group. And so this specific initiative will award 9 grants to support these projects of academic mobility between Colombia and the US. And this has the support of the US Department of State, and here in Colombia from MinCiencias, the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. And this call is open through the end of August, through August 28th, actually. So you have a little bit of time to still get in your projects. We really, really encourage you to consider applying for a 100,000 Strong Innovation Project. Colombia is actually the top country in the hemisphere in this initiative. It's actually pretty impressive, more than 70 winning projects. I don't know the exact number, but more than 70 winning projects. And so I know that some of you all have a lot of experience with 100,000 Strong. And if you do not, feel free to reach out to me. I will put my email in the chat, and I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to put you in contact with my colleagues here at the embassy as well. So thanks again to all of our presenters from universities around Colombia through the CCYK network, to the Ministry of Education, and especially thank you to all of you who are here and who have attended our previous sessions. If you missed a session, let us know. We're happy to send you the recording. But without further ado, I will give the floor back to Laura to continue with today's session. So thanks so much. It's great to see you all.
Thank you, Rachel, for your greeting. We know all the efforts put into this project by the embassy. For continue, the Ministry of National Education supports the Go Colombia project, and that is why I would like to introduce Ivan Darío Gómez Castaño. He is currently of the group of delegates of the Ministry of National Education and represents the minister in some higher councils and directors of the public higher education institution and chief of the Cooperation and International Affairs Office at the ministry. He studied pharmaceutical chemistry and has a master's degree in biocomplexity. He is a polyglot and has more than 15 years of work experience in public policy, project management, administration of educational resources, direction of education areas, creation of innovative model of teacher training, and creation of educational materials. He has served as Undersecretary of Quality and Relevance in Bogota Secretary of Education, and also was the Director of Education at ProAntioquia, head of the research at Universidad EAFIT, and responsible for tertiary education at Confama, and teacher and researcher at the University of Antioquia. Thank you, Ivan Darío, and good afternoon for you.
Thank you very much, Laura, for the introduction, and thank you very much for all the guests that we have over this, in particular, the third session that we have respecting to Go Colombia. I just want to briefly show you some of the major highlights that we have created for the strategy. As you may know, Go Colombia is a strategy that allows to promote Colombia as an academic and scientific destination. one of the main goals of this strategy is try to enroll most of the universities and students all over the world on different programs in Colombia. We have a broad spectrum of different offers in between undergrads, in between also some masters and PhDs, and also specializations. But I want to go further with some of the slides. I don't want to consume the time just talking. So Andres, if we can go further, thank you very much. The first thing is that Colombia is a really, really interesting country. Is composed by 5 regions and also have the particularity that is surrounded by 2 oceans. It's also the country that has probably one of the biggest portions of the Amazon jungle. Also have different types of lands between deserts and also some of the pretty well known over the world because of the lack of them, which are paramos. And also we have different cultural attractions. I mean, in Colombia, we have more than 1,000 rhythms, but we have also more than 200 native communities. And all of this is also, it's really important if we talk the diversity, the approximation approaches and different approximations to them. The Go Colombia strategy is basically trying to allow certain communication to different institutions all over the world, at least promoting some of the offers that we have. Something that we have to highlight is that Colombia as a country has a system to ensure the quality of the programs, the quality of the institutions, and this system is basically for higher education, the one that rules how the offers are composed and the quality of them. Something that is also really important and is how I'm going to continue with the presentation is around those 5 topics that we think are really important to promote Colombia as an academic and research destination. The first is the increasing income or the increasing interest in visiting Colombia as an academic visitor or as a researcher. The second is also the high level of some of our academic programs and some of our universities. Also understand that Spanish is a really, really important language on the international context, and we prove that on some of the programs, at least how we teach and deliver Spanish as a foreign language. We also have different specialized research programs. Some of them are really, really focused on our biodiversity. I'm going to show you a little bit that later. And also, Colombia is definitely a cultural and touristic attractive. And respecting to the other countries over the region, it has a low cost of living, so it's definitely a major destination for some of the students that are searching for internships in Colombia. Respecting to international mobility, over the past 5 years, even earlier, we have been receiving lots of different international students and researchers. This has a drop at the 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, but most of the indicators are just recovering. Something that is really, really important is some of these strategies has been going without the existence of Go Colombia. So Go Colombia, what it's trying is to improve the amount of students and researchers that we have. We have been receiving for the last years around 80,000 students, and we want to definitely improve that in some of the countries that we definitely see some of the opportunities. Here you will see how is this distribution of those students that have been visiting Colombia. Probably the major visitors is USA, the second of is Mexico, the third is Venezuela, and that's according to the migrant situation. And we also have other countries like France and Peru that definitely are thinking in Colombia as an academic destination. Next, please. The second point is that most of the institutions that we have in Colombia, we have more than 290 higher education institutions. All of them, these 290 groups, some of them are public, some of them are privately funded. And something that we have to highlight is that over the region and also over the world, we have some of them pretty well ranked. We have the specific case of Universidad de los Andes, Universidad Nacional de Colombia, and Pontificia Universidad Javeriana that are ranked not only among the most important universities all over Latin America, but also all over the world, respecting to the rankings. Also, we have a different a broad spectrum of other universities that are specialized. We are showing some of them here and that are definitely already ranked and that in the region are the reference for some research topics and also for some specialized programs. Next. Something that we have to compare is that Colombia is at least on the average of the other countries respecting to the participation of its higher education institutions over the rankings. Colombia has 3 institutions, the ones that I showed you previously, that are located over the top 100, top 500 universities all over the world, but we also have 13 universities that are also on the major leagues respecting to Latin America. This slide, please. Respecting to the quality of our offer and what we have at universities, we could say that more or less 37% of the students have access to high quality accredited higher education institutions. As I told you at the very first beginning, we have a higher education quality system that ensures the quality of the programs that are being delivered at the different universities. We ensure at least that almost 40% of the students are enrolled at institutions that has an offer that ensures quality also, but at the same time is accredited also as a higher education institution with all the quality spectrum. Something that we have to highlight is that inside those universities that we definitely ensure the quality of them, we have more than 1,350 undergraduate programs that are basically ensured with a quality stamp, and some of them are also programs that are delivered between more than 2 universities. And we also want to highlight that we have more than 370 postgraduate programs, and most of them are accredited and belong to institutions of higher education that are also accredited with high quality. Next, please. Something that is also really important to understand why Colombia is a really good scenario as a student or as a researcher is that you can also take the advantage to learn Spanish. And we have been developing different programs to improve how we actually teach Spanish or how we deliver Spanish as a second language for different students and researchers. Those are 4 programs that we have been developing in association with SCUN, Enredele, Instituto Cari Cuervo, which are the major pilots for developing strategies around higher education, especially to deliver Spanish as a second language. Next, please. As I told you, this definitely has to deal with most of the offers that some of the universities has. Something that it has to be really important is that in Spanish all over the world is really important. We have more than 22 countries that speak that. We have more than 18 million people that speak Spanish all over the world, and we have all over our major cities, Armenia, Barranquilla, Bogotá, Bucaramanga, Cali, Cartagena, Medellin, etc. We have programs that ensure at least on those higher education institutions, which are 30, how you can actually teach to foreigners and other international students to manipulate and manage Spanish as a professional language. Also, we have a special offer. This specialized offer is broad, is really broad. We have to be aware that some of the universities that we have are more than 100 years old, and some of those specialized offers are just being developing all over this time. Most of our focus is around biodiversity. Also, we have a really important focus in biomedical engineering, and especially something that we have been working a lot is around archaeology, museology, and conservation, especially restoration of cultural heritage. But something that is really important, you see it here at the center, is how we have been improving some of the pedagogies that we have been developing also with the different educational levels in the country, and something that we have developed particularly and we haven't seen all other places, and is the degree in pedagogy of Mother Earth that allows or groups different pedagogies that are basically based on the sustainability of the earth. Next slide, please. And just to highlight one of the aspects, the main aspects is that also Colombia has a lot of research going on. We have more than 5,000 groups that has been accredited by the government as research groups that are being funded publicly. And we have broad spectrum of different areas we are majorly focusing on health sciences, economics, engineering, education, social and biological sciences. Next slide, please. And something that has to be really, really important is that as a major research destination, Colombia is the most biodiverse country in the world per square meter. That means that we have the biggest amount of species per square meter, and that definitely makes Colombia a good destination to get deeper on some of the biological aspects that we have been learning on different programs all over the world. We have, as I told you, 5 different regions. All of the regions group different cultural traditions, different also territorial conditions respecting to some of the animals that you will find there, some of the natural species that you will find there. And all of those 5 regions are definitely divided because of really particular things, not only the cultural and food, but also some of the aspects that differentiate the biological ecosystems that they have. Something that has to be really important, and just finishing with this, is respecting to the other countries in the region, is the low cost of living in Colombia. Colombia is really, really pretty well ranked respecting to the low cost of living, obviously according to some of the countries all over the world, but especially all over the countries in Latin America, especially highlighting that Colombia is probably just overpassed by Paraguay respecting to the low cost of living. And that's it. I just want to clarify that this is a strategy that has been going on for a couple of years, and it's just a brief touch that we want to give you in order to at least encourage some of the students at universities to study Colombia as a research and academic destination. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan Dario. It got my attention that the nationality that came to Colombia the most in 2021 was the United States, even in pandemic, which is totally related to the series of webinars aimed to the universities to the United States. So it's in relation with our intentions and our collaboration in the future. Okay. Now we want to share with you a map from Colombia, because Colombia is a country of regions, as mentioned in the first Go Colombia talk. And that is why we want to share with you some academic, scientific, and cultural highlights from each of the following regions. For the Caribbean region, that is located in the north part of Colombia, we will be accompanied by Daniel Toro González from Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar, and from our Andean region, or Western Colombia's Andes region, we will be accompanied by universities from the departments of Antioquia, Cundinamarca, and from Manizales. So we have the special guest from Cristina Robledo Ardila from Universidad EAFIT, Esperanza Ramírez from Universidad de La Sabana, and Margarita López Pinzón from Caldas University. So please help me welcome Daniel Toro González. Daniel is an economist, Fulbrighter, PhD in economics from Washington State University, and Fulbright Ambassador 2017-2019. Invited professor at the Bordeaux University in France and Universidad del Norte, Colombia. Fields of interest are applied industrial organization and applied econometrics, specifically empirical models of industrial organization and economics in education. Author of the textbook Strategy and Game Theory, Practice Exercise with Answers, co-author with Felix Munoz Garcia, second edition published in 2019 as part of the book series Springer Text, Business and Economics, STBI. Titular professor in Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar in Cartagena, and since July 2018 is the academic vice rector. Thank you, Daniel Toro, for your time.
Hello, Laura, and hello to all of the people in the room, and thanks to the U.S. Embassy, of course, to especially Rachel Wilson and Diana Patiño and CCYK for the invitation, Laura and Camilo. and of course, the representatives of the other universities, Cristina Robledo, Esperanza Ramirez, Margarita Lopez. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to share my screen. I think it's already, are you able to see?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, thanks for the opportunity to present Cartagena de Indias and the Colombian Caribbean region as academic and scientific and cultural destination. My name, as Laura said, is Daniel Toro Gonzalez. I'm currently the provost or academic vice president of the Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar, which is a non-profit private university located in Cartagena de Indias. The Colombian Caribbean region is located in the north of coast of Colombia, as Laura mentioned. It's comprised of 8 departments with 12 million inhabitants out of the 51 that Colombia has. This is more or less 23% of the total population, which is living in this northern region of Colombia. The Colombian Caribbean region produces approximately 15% of the GDP of the country, and the per capita income is lower than the national average, is $12,000 approximately a year. And most important cities in the region are Barranquilla, which is in northern to Cartagena, and Cartagena de Indias. Barranquilla represents approximately 5% of the GDP, and Cartagena almost 4% of the GDP. Main activities, economic activities in the region are mining, which is the biggest portion of the total GDP, as you can see in relative terms to the Colombian GDP, 28%. Energy, water supply, and other utilities, approximately 20% of the national GDP. Industry is approximately 15% of the total GDP, national GDP, and commerce 15%. And also we have an important share of the agricultural GDP. Some highlights of Cartagena. It is recognized by the UNESCO as a World Historic and Cultural Heritage City, and it is a cultural hub with a large number of international festivals, such as the International Music Festival, the International Film Festival, which is one of the oldest in all Latin America, the oldest of Latin America, the Hay Festival of Literature, cultural markets, international fairs, sailing fairs, and so on. We have also some other interesting facts about our city. We have the coolest neighborhood around the world, one of the coolest neighborhoods around the world, which is Gethsemane. And we also have one of the 50 world best bars in our city, and the best chef, one of the best female chefs around the world, Leonor Espinosa, who is from Cartagena. In summary, Cartagena is a prized touristic destination. It has developed a large hotel infrastructure and hosts many international cultural events. Hotels such as Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott, and among others, and many different convention centers which can accommodate large events and many other activities. Well, we have in Cartagena, we can say we have good transportation system, which is a BRT, a bus rapid transit system. And we are home of the National Aviary of Colombia, which is the first in Latin America and the 6th in the world. And Cartagena combines its rich history and culture with a large industrial complex that includes the production of petrochemicals, biofuels, agro-industry, as well as very well-developed maritime ports and logistics centers and shipyards. By the way, the UTB, the university where I work, is founder of the largest and more important shipyard in Colombia, Cotecmar, and we are the only university in Colombia with a non-military naval engineer program, which is also an important element from our university. In terms of higher education, the Colombian Caribbean region hosts approximately 50 higher education institutions, among them public and private institutions, all of them non-profit institutions, 16 of them with the highest national quality accreditation that was already mentioned previously. In Cartagena, there are 13 higher education institutions, 6 of them with high national quality accreditation. The first one in obtaining this accreditation was the Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar, the UTB. And the region is home for almost 2,000 PhD professors, and the city is home for around 262 PhD professors, most of them working in institutions, in 2 institutions, which are one private, one public. The UTB is the private one, and the Universidad de Cartagena is the public one. Approximately 32,000 undergrad students out of the 192,000 in the region, which is approximately 16% of the total enrollment, and approximately 4,000 of graduate students out of the 13,000 in the region, which is approximately 30% of all. In terms of the PhD programs, focusing mostly on of course, on research, we can say that the region has 50 PhD programs to offer in the fields such as education, health, social sciences, business and economics, engineering, architecture and urbanism, mathematics and natural sciences. Of course, we have some strengths, among them the areas of efficiency, sustainability, energy systems in line with the SDGs, of course, and as well as the adaptation and mitigation to climate change, urban and regional development, peace and post-conflict. We have worked a lot in Montes de Maria region, which is the most affected zone in Colombia because of the armed conflict, and the areas of engineering, naval, optics, energy, and we are part of the Hydrogen Innovation Center in partnership with Ecopetrol, and we have proposed many other different initiatives such as electric, solar, water buses for the city, and many other sustainable projects. In terms of the current or past projects or academic scientific collaboration with the US, I can mention that we have had exchange programs, double degree programs, Spanish as a second language programs, short-term courses, summer schools, international virtual collaborative teaching coils that we have host very successful within these last years, of course. Fulbright programs. In fact, as I was mentioned, I am a Fulbrighter myself. I study a PhD in the US thanks to this scholarship. And the 100,000 stroke in the Americas, we have experience with that. In fact, we led one of these projects with Cornell University, and this initiative was related to peace building and productivity in Montes de Maria, specifically visiting professors, research, internships, and stays. So Cartagena and the Caribbean region, and specifically Cartagena, is a very nice city to come. It has a nice atmosphere, colonial architecture, and abundance of cultural activities that provide the perfect setting for students, faculty, and visitors. interested in an unforgettable academic and cultural exchange. So you are more than welcome to visit us in Cartagena at Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar.
Thank you, Daniel Toro. Definitely Cartagena is one of the cities with the most cultural richness, not only in our country, even in Latin America. So it's very interesting for us knowing this information. Now to continue, I would like to introduce you Cristina Robledo Ardila. Cristina is the head of the Internationalization Office at Universidad EAFIT, has also been the coordinator of the undergraduate program, associate professor at the Department of International Business in the same university. PhD in administration, marketing specialist, and international negotiator from the same institution. She also holds a master's degree in international business from Grenoble Graduate School of Business. Cristina has over 12 years of experience in higher education as a teacher, researcher, academic, and administrative coordinator. Her teaching and research areas include business and management education, intercultural communication, international strategies, among others. As an active member of the research group in international studies, and she has participated in projects relating to international strategies in IB education, which have resulted in high-ranking academic publications. As for her academic and administrative contribution as the coordinator of the undergraduate program in IB, Cristina has played a key role in terms of curriculum design and articulation to provide the students with the knowledge and skills required to face the future of work in this field. Welcome, Cristina, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you everyone who has joined us today to get to know our regions in Colombia, which are undoubtedly very diverse and very varied. So if you allow me to share my screen, I'm going to show you a presentation not only about Medellin, but about our region, which is called Antioquia, being Medellin, the second largest city in the country, and Antioquia, the wider region in which it is placed. Laura, can you confirm if you are seeing my presentation?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, Medellin is placed in the center of Colombia, in the wider region of Antioquia. We are a city located in a valley surrounded by the mountains. So this means that we have everything from really hot weather to high mountains to go hiking. And it is a location in which this city was founded based on the needs to create companies and industries many centuries ago, as a result of which Medellin is the place in which many Colombian-based multinationals were created. So we are a highly entrepreneurial city. We find a very good transportation city, which makes the city very attractive and easy for foreigners to move around, being that for the purpose of tourism or the academic studies, or even research. We count with a metro system, an articulated bus system, which leads to the metro stations. We also have a cable to go up in the mountains to faraway neighborhoods, and a electric bike system, which facilitates moving around the city. So this is something that our foreign students find very attractive and useful. I just had yesterday the welcoming session for 150 students who are going to spend the semester here at our Universidad EAFIT. And the fact that there is a good transportation system really makes it like very much easier for them. In terms of population, Medellin has approximately about 2.5 million inhabitants. 82% of the population has access to secondary education. We have been recognized by the UNESCO as one of the smart cities due to social, urban, and cultural transformation. The school dropout rate in our city is quite low. It is 2.7%. And the city and even the region has been working very actively to reduce this rate and take it and keep it to a minimum. Medellin and the metropolitan area is also characterized for the abundance of sports facilities. It is possible to find outside gyms that can be used for free, soccer courts, of course, because that's our national sport. You can find tennis courts that are for public use. And in general, I would say the Institute for Sports in our city does a very good job providing access to the community to different sports activities and ways to exercise through the weekends, knowing that has been also a key pillar in providing or propelling social transformation in our city and our region. There is also a high investment in terms of security and switching as much as we can transportation to electric systems. We also have a very good coverage in terms of electricity and water, and the public services are available to almost the whole population. In terms of the city, you may find interesting to know that Medellin has been recognized for several aspects, which are undoubtedly linked to the education system in place. In 2007, we received a recognition by UNESCO as a learning city. In 2020, we were recognized as a key touristic destination by USTOA. In 2020, again, UNESCO with NetExplo recognized as a social for our social, urban, and cultural transformation. And the most recent one was in 2021, when Medellin was recognized as an innovative and inclusive city. I also want to share with you some reasons or motivations we have found in the population we receive that join us for academic or research purposes. We find that the region is very attractive due to high quality institutions and programs that are accredited at the national level as high quality institutions, but also ranked at the national and the international level. We are a leading city in terms of economic and technical development. And as I mentioned, the origins of the industries of manufacturing in Colombia are related to the birth of our city. Even if we are far away from ports, many manufacturing industries were born initially in Medellin, which is the reason why we are still considered a key center for innovation and entrepreneurship. You will find many Colombian-based multinational corporations having the main offices and origins in the city. And you will also find a very interesting ecosystem to foster innovation and entrepreneurship. We are also known for the sustainable mobility. It is not rare to see people riding bikes and using different means of transportation around the city. The artistic and cultural heritage of Medellin also allows who comes to study to Medellin to really enjoy and live through an immersion of a cultural experience and develop skills and competences in terms of multicultural relationships. We also count with a wide gastronomic offer and active nightlife, which is always a plus. Our weather is just perfect, I would say. We enjoy 18 to 24 Celsius degree all year round, which is the reason why we are called the city of eternal spring, and makes like very comfortable to walk and circulate around the city and the campuses of our universities, which are also characterized by having a lot of green spaces and open spaces for students to really enjoy campus life. We are a city which have very interesting infrastructure for hosting events, being that commercial as Colombia Moda or Colombia Text, but also academic events. We have been host of great conferences and seminars, and the quality of life and well-being is also recognized in our city. Lastly, whoever comes to our region for business or for studies will have the possibility of doing a wider range of activities in terms of tourism within 2 hours from the city. You may be swimming in a lake or a river, you may be hiking to a really high mountain, or you could be enjoying also coffee farms. Medellin and the Antiochian region has worked for many years in pro of the internationalization of the higher education institutions. As a result of that, we are members of several associations and we work very actively in several networks. A very key group is the group of the eight, in which the presidents of the main 8 institutions in Antioquia join efforts and share best practices and exchange information. That means we consider each other not competition, but key allies in fostering education and the ecosystem in the region. And we are also active members of course, CCYK and the Colombian program. We count with international allies who have been key for the development of education in the city and the region, in which we count all, of course, with the US Embassy and the programs fostered by CCYK and the Ministry of Education. And last but not least, I would like to mention that the education system in the Antiochian region has been a priority for many years now. The investment of the local governments have been focusing on education. We have our own system for merit-based scholarships for people to access secondary education, but we also work very closely with the entrepreneurial system because we strongly believe that our programs need to develop professionals that are relevant for the development of the country and the world as a whole. In terms of topics that may be attractive for foreign students and researchers to come to Medellin, Medellin has been known for being a center for studying biodiversity, entrepreneurship and innovation, social transformation. The city, undoubtedly you have heard about Medellin before, and maybe not everything was good that you heard about, but Medellin is now recognized for the social transformation of the city and the communities, also the urban transformation that goes hand in hand with that social transformation. We are now not only the center for manufacturing companies, but also the recipients of investments focusing on setting up financial services, back office, and BPO services in Medellin. So there is an interesting economy of services in the city. And well, I think this is what I wanted to share with you today. I am open if you wish to contact me to get to know more about any of our institutions or the region and the city as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Cristina. And of course, we know that Medellin is one of the most interesting cities in Colombia, not only because of its economic growth, but also because of its social transformation and the impact on population that we has. Now, I would like to continue with introduce you Esperanza Ramírez from Universidad de La Sabana, Cundinamarca. Esperanza is an academic mobility manager with with over 9 years of experience designing a student exchange program and other international experience from universities in Colombia, Universidad del Rosario, Universidad Católica de Colombia, and Universidad de La Sabana. She has a bachelor degree in international relations, Universidad del Rosario, and certificate in design thinking and master in innovation from Universidad EAN, Esperanza. Welcome, and you have 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, Laura, for introducing me. I will be really quick with my presentation. I will try to do it. I'm going to share my screen. Just a minute, please. And just please confirm if you are seeing my presentation right now, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So as Laura told you, I am Esperanza Ramirez. I am the Mobility and International Resources Manager at the Universidad de La Sabana. We are located in the heart of Colombia. I'm gonna have the pleasure of talk to you 5 minutes about Cundinamarca. This is, let's say, the state, the region where Bogota is located, but Cundinamarca is not only Bogota. We have a lot of things to offer in academic terms and in tourism terms, of course, to other universities and to the world. Actually, we work with Sabana Centro. Sabana Centro are 11 municipalities in Cundinamarca. That is our region where we can work, and we are watching and permanently monitor changes in the quality of life in the municipalities to make up the region. We analyze indicators, technical indicators, the citizen perception, all to work as universities working for the community. Talking about Cundinamarca, we are one of the most competitive regions in the country. We contribute 6.1 to the country's total GDP. We have large presence of industry, but of course we have large campuses, and it is an advantage that, for example, we are really close to Bogota, but not in Bogota. So we have, you can drive 1 hour, you are in Bogota, you have all what that city can offer to the students, to the academic staff that visit us, but also you can be a part of, the chaos sometimes of the city. You can have a little more of nature and a little bit more of peace. Sabana Centro focuses in some objectives, on some tasks that are experiential learning. Our universities in Sabana Centro work for make the students practice during the learning process, not only classes and not only speech to the students, but they have to be practicing and have this kind of classes during their career. Of course, internship opportunities for all the students and micro internships. We are in an industrial zone. We are next to an industrial zone around around Cundinamarca that can give the opportunity of this to the students to make this internship or micro internships, so they can get closer to a company experience for the students that are in the last years of their careers. Of course, service learning and research opportunities are in all our regions. In Cundinamarca, we have 11 higher education institutions. The two bigger institutions is Universidad de La Sabana, which I work for, and Universidad de Cundinamarca. We have also presence of campuses of universities that have their main campus in Bogota, but they also have campuses here in La Sabana, in Cundinamarca. One of the biggest campus of all that have the main quarters in Bogota is Universidad Militar Nueva Granada. And there are many others that are working also here in the region. Talking about academic programs, the three first and bigger academic areas in which our students are enrolled right now are engineering, architecture, and urbanism. Also economics, administration, and accounting, social and human sciences. But all the universities in Cundinamarca also offer programs in bachelor, master's, and PhD of educational sciences, health sciences. Actually, Universidad de la Sabana has a clinic of the university, which serves to all the region, and also is a universitary place where the students can practice while they are learning agronomy and veterinary and all the related programs, mathematics and natural science, and of course arts.
1 minute.
Yes, sir. Also, we have been working, we have experience working in 100K strong in Americas. We have been working with 3 universities, actually 5.3% of our inbound mobility is from students from the US, University of Arizona, Illinois State University, University of Mississippi. They have sent us their students, but also the 10.9% of the outbound students go to the US to universities like Berry University, Emporia State University, and Northern Illinois University. These are some institutions where we can find funding for the mobility and many other cooperation projects that we are working on. Of course, we work with Fulbright and Fellows Colombia and ICETEX are Colombian institutions. ICETEX, a Colombian institution that can also help us to bring experts to our universities, and of course there we can find resources to work with United States professors, students, and administrative staff. So thank you very much. I was as fast as I could, and thank you very much all for your attention.
Thank you, Esperanza. We know that Bogota has the most important educational ecosystem in the country, and you show us. Now we continue with Margarita Lopez Pinzon from Caldas University, our final special guest. Last but not least, and Margarita Lopez holds an MA in English Didactics from Caldas University and has been the chief of International Affairs Office at Caldas University for the past 4 years. She is also the director of the English Didactic Master Program, and she has extensive experience in teaching graduate and undergraduate courses and has been conducting educational research for several years. Her areas of interest include internationalization, culture, e-field methodology, research, and bilingualism. Thank you, Margarita, for being here.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Can you please project the presentation? I will take some minutes. I won't be very long. I know you are probably really tired. Today, I will talk about the coffee region, especially Manizales, but I would like to start by telling you that the coffee region includes Pereira and Armenia. We are 3 cities in this coffee region. But today, I will talk about Manizales. So Manizales considered the best college town in Colombia, according to an index created by a network of the most important cities in Colombia to evaluate the cities as college towns, taking into account the quality of education, the university environment, cost of living, quality of life, and employability of graduates. Next, please. So we are also located in the heart of Colombia. Okay, well, in the middle, we are 300 kilometers from the country's capital, Bogota. Our city is 2,200 meters above sea level, and we have about 40 students, 40 university students, and 50% of those 40,000 come from other regions of the country. Manizales we have 400,000 inhabitants, and it's an affordable city It is safe and friendly, easy to move around. We also were qualified with the highest quality of life in Colombia, according to the same index, Colombia Como Vamos report. We are a city declared as a learning city by UNESCO. That was in 2019. Next, please. Okay, I will tell you about University Campus. This is a city-wide initiative that brings various private and public institutions together to help position the city as a world-class university campus. Next. What is interesting about this is that we all work together, the private and the public sector. Next, please, Laura. We work together. So we have the government, the Alcaldía de Manizales, which is the mayor office, the Luker Foundation, and we have two public universities. I come from Universidad de Caldas, which is a public university, and we have five other universities that are private. Out of these 7 universities, 5 of them have the high quality accreditation. So we work as a city in this educational system. Next, please. We can offer more than 100 undergraduate options and more than 200 graduate, because we are 7 universities, and we all have also our own Spanish programs for foreigners. The areas of knowledge that we offer are, we offer most of them. Important thing about our program is that our students, any student that comes to one of the universities can move around. They can take credits in other universities. We have a system, a university system within this town, in Manizales, and students can move around and take different subjects from different parts, from different universities. So we have most, I can say all the areas of knowledge. The areas of knowledge in which we are strong, of course, coffee and cocoa. We also are good in sustainable development, circular economy, risk control. We live in a place where we have a lot of disasters, natural disasters. So we have strengthened all these risk controls. We have excellent Spanish programs. We can have a tailor-made program for any foreigner that comes. We're good in the entrepreneurship, rural development, bioinformatics, etc. Some of the benefits I will tell you. So we have SUMA. SUMA means we have a university system where we work together. All our students can take classes in different universities. They also have the possibility for the bicycle system to move around. We have a cultural agenda for all our students, national and international students. We have a special program called Manizales Plus, which has to do with entrepreneurship, and all the universities have the same program. And our students have like an ID, like in most universities in the world, and they have discounts around the city to go to the soccer match, or to go shopping, or to go to some restaurants, etc. Places to visit in Manizales, please, let's go back, let's continue. We have a lot of eco parks. We are the best ones. Can you please go back, Laura? We are very good in bird watching. We have some of the most beautiful birds in the world. Trails, hiking, we have cloud forests. We have many cloud forests. We have hot springs. We're very good in hot springs. We also do research and we have collaborations around this topic. We have a great historic center and a beautiful coffee plantations. We are part of the coffee region, so we have all this landscape around. We also have different climates. We are around 18 Celsius degrees all year round, but if we go for 1 hour, we will have snow. We go to the mountains. Also, we will have hotter weather if we go to the other side. So you can really have unforgettable emotions. And I think this is it. Manizales. The next one, please, Laura. Have your best experience when you come to Manizales. You're students, you are all welcome to come to the best college town in Colombia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margarita. You show us one of the most diverse regions and most beautiful regions in Colombia. So thank you and thank to all our panelists for their participation. It has a very enriching and contributing space for education. A special thanks to the Embassy of the United States in Colombia, the Ministry of National Education in Colombia, the CCYK Network, and all of the participants from US universities for being here for this webinar. We would like to invite you in the latest webinar, how to build partnerships with Colombia and US institutions, which will take place Wednesday, July 27, 12 p.m. CO time through the same Zoom link. Thank you very much. Since we have exceeded the scheduled time, we will answer your questions in the next webinar. So thank you very much to all and happy afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You.